Oh, no funky music?
I know, right? We didn't get the music or anything, but that's okay. We have enough. Welcome to the Before Floor, the official Five Reasons Sports pregame show for your Miami Heat. A little bit of a different crew tonight, but we have enough here at the network. I am Greg Sylvander, Ricky J. Mark, and Jonathan Ramlakan. Both of those heads. They are typically here, so I guess most of the regulars are here. But we do have with us Timmy Bain from a whole slew of shows, but one of my favorite, the Bahama Rican Boys. Definitely check them out there. So thank you for joining us. Ethan is off. Brady is off. They are enjoying themselves doing other things, and that is all good. Before we dive into this game against Brooklyn, which the Nets have a bit of a skeleton crew, want to tell you about a couple of the great sponsors of the Five Reasons Sports Network. The first being whichever visual Manny Chang throws up. Manny Chang is on the ones and twos, by the way. Whichever one he throws up first. Let's go with Mark Brown, PA. So one of the official sponsors of the Five Reasons Sports Network. And if I don't get graphics, that's okay. Also, there it is. So this is a gentleman you can meet with if you need to plan out your financial future, whether you're single and you want to make sure that you have your assets going in the right places. If anything were to ever happen to you, or you have a family and you need to make sure that all of them will be taken care of. If something unfortunate were to take place for yourself, you want to make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row, and Mark Brown will help you get there. He's laser focused on his clients, small firms, so they can really work with you and hear you and figure out what needs will be best for you. Reach out to Mark Brown, markbrownpa.com. Mention Five Reasons, mention Ethan. This is Ethan works with him personally, and you'll get a free consultation. He'll take great care of you. There's how to get in touch as being highlighted on the screen right at this moment. Thank you very much for that. The telephone number, I can't read it from here, but I think it's
954-248-4068. Boom. I got you, Greg. Let's go. Come on.
that's why you got the spectacles. See, that's an assist right there. That's a lob to Bam for the slam dunk. So yes, go to Mark Brown PA, the official sponsor of Before Floor. The other sponsor we want to tell you about is Biscayne Bay Brewing Company. So you guys know these guys. They are all over South Florida, the official beer of the Miami Marlins, of the Five Reasons Sports Network. I think I even read somewhere their official craft beer, the Miami Heat. I know you can find them now at there's a kiosk at the games. The Tropical Bay IPA, Miami Pale Ale are a couple of the favorites. So make sure you ask for Biscayne Bay Brew by name when you go to your local favorite spots. You're seeing it pop up basically everywhere, but let's keep that going by asking for it by name. That's Biscayne Bay Brewing Company, the official beer of the Miami Marlins and the Five Reasons Sports Network. All right, y'all. It's Nets Heat. And this game, I think when we looked at the calendar back, maybe 6 months ago, we were like, okay, this is about to be a game. And the Heat are basically whole, it looks like. We usually go to Brady to start these shows with who's in and who's out, but Brady's not here, so I'm going to try to ad-lib this.
I got you, man. I got you.
Timmy,
So
what's up?
the only person who we have out of our rotation that is the Red Bull, Caleb Martin. He still has that sore Achilles. Of course, Depot is still out, Morris is still out. But other than that, can't even say Casey's out there because Casey no longer plays the Miami Heat. But when it comes to the Nets, everybody is out. We have Seth is still out, Drummond is out, Aldridge, Claxton, Harris, Katie, and Ben Simmons. So Bam has to go for 30. Like, you have no Drummond, you have no Claxton, you have no Marcus. So you basically have Blake Griffin, you have Sharp. That's the only big bodies Bam will see tonight. I could see Spo experimenting again, maybe with the Deadman bomb or Yurt bomb. But yeah, this is a very tiny front court. This is gonna basically what I'm only looking for is really see Larry make Kyrie look bad. Like that's what I want to see. Like,
right. Jonathan, I'll go to you here because we get to see Kyrie because we're on the road. And the other guy that's been playing really well, I was looking back through recent box scores, and this guy's been filling it up the last 5 games or so, and that's Cam Thomas. I'm interested to hear. I think Bam has an absolute advantage, but that backcourt can get hot. It's kind of like a microwave style backcourt. Who do you foresee? You think they're just going to go straight Kyle Kyle on Kyrie, or do they do any cross matches right off the bat? What's your take there?
No, I think they start with Kyle and Kyrie, and I notice a lot of times when you're playing a team with just one star player, Spo likes to trap them and just make them make tough decisions from there. So I can really just see him doing that whenever Kyrie calls for a screen, whether it's Bam, whether it's Jimmy, just have him trap and push him into the into that corner half court line, and then that way he has to make a tough pass because all the other guys aren't really great ball movers, so they're not going to make those easy things. And the great thing about the Heat defense is how good the help is off of when somebody's helping as well. So they help the helper really well. So I don't think they're going to necessarily start off with crazy schemes. I think if they had KD and maybe before when they had James Harden, you might see something a little bit different there. But with them just having Kyrie, I think we'd start off pretty standard, and then we just throw a lot of traps at him.
No, that does make sense. I'm interested. You said if they had KD, if they had Harden, we know that they don't have Harden. Everybody is aware of the blockbuster trade that went down right at the deadline. Ricky, I want to go to you on this because it's less about tonight. Truthfully, the Heat are 10.5-point favorites. I expect them to win. I think we can talk about the ways that Brooklyn may be able to get to a victory, but I want to pick your brain here. What was your thoughts on the trade overall? Because I haven't heard your perspective. If you've spit it out already, then I apologize for being redundant. But I'm interested to hear how you think Brooklyn made out in that deal. And do you think that they are even more of a threat or less of a threat to the Miami Heat when fully constructed? Because let's think about them in that way.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, Greg. Well, I think long term they're better off, but short term, this season's a mulligan. Kyrie is a part-time player. KD has been out with a knee problem, and they're sliding in the standings. However, if you remember how the 16 game Big Three initially agreed to play, their idea was that James Harden was going to be the point guard, KD was going to do whatever he felt like, and Kyrie was going to be the shooting guard. Ben Simmons is not taking shots from anybody. He's not even taking shots. So if anything, he's sliding into that role with better defense. My initial concerns were that they were getting old. They didn't play good defense. And what is going on with Kyrie? Kyrie's going to still be a wild card, but at this point, when you look at moving forward, you can potentially build around a Ben Simmons while also contending with a KD. The Nets could be interesting if they're able to swap out a lot of those old pieces for new guys heading into the offseason and beyond. But for the time being, it's going to be a little iffy because, of course, Ben Simmons is going to have to come back from his hiatus. He's got to play into basketball shape. This year is not going to work out the way people think it might for the Nets. KD has to return from the knee injury, and Kyrie is a part-time player. So aside from those guys, LaMarcus Aldridge, we wanted him last year. He didn't come at the last second. There was nothing anybody here could have controlled over that, of course. But no, the haters are stupid. We all know what it is. But he should have stayed retired. He's not who he used to be.
No.
Blake Griffin is past his prime. He's not jumping as much as he used to, much to Alana Tahauer's happiness. And just at this point, the Nets are not a serious team for the time being. I know. However, one last thing. The Nets could succeed in the playoffs if they face a team that plays with its food too much. Because if you've got a guy like KD who's back presumably at full strength, that could be a problem because we saw what he did to the eventual champion Milwaukee Bucks. So this game should be a Heat win, but don't play with your food because a scrappy group of guys like that, if we believe in our scrappy group of guys, then we should know that scrappy guys can win a game if the more talented team doesn't play as hard.
No, that's really true. I think on a couple fronts. One is that every game counts. You're talking about the 1 through the 5 seed. There's a 2.5 game disparity. Like every game counts, and home court is going to matter. Being the 5 versus the 1 is a huge difference in your trajectory through a playoff run. Timmy, I'll come to you here about Bam because you mentioned him at the top. I like that you led with that. We shout out to Ariel Latias. He tweeted about Bam's recent stretch and how
that's beautiful.
And he ended the tweet by saying, we are seeing a change in disposition. Do you think that that's intentional, that Bam Adebayo is playing with a different disposition and mind frame offensively than he did? We've seen him get his career high in field goal attempts twice in the last 10 days. Do you think that that's intentional, that they're getting Bam included more, or it's just coincidental?
No, I think it's based on his comments. He knows he might be tired of hearing it now, but it's Larry. Like I watch him get the ball and give pass to Larry. Larry say nope. Like I've seen his teammates forcing it to him. So it's like I like it. I hope it's not just a February thing. Like I hope it continues. But I love it when Bam catches the ball, kicks it out, repositions, gets it back, and like attacks. Like that just shifts everything. And that's what we weren't saying Bam is just like I never thought that Bam will become a bad player just by attempting more threes. No, he just needs to attempt shots. Like no one can guard him down there. Like I always go back to this in the bubble against Dice. That 3 minute stretch where every possession he is, I was like, oh, chef's kiss. Like that was amazing. And I'm happy that Dice went back to the Celtics.
Yeah.
So when we played him in the first round as a 1 seed and the 8 seed, he just his horns come out and say, oh yeah, I remember this. So I love it. I like that it's still working within the offense. Because Jimmy will do what he'll do. So you don't have to make Jimmy attack or a hero, but it's about forcing Bam. And eventually I think it'll become second. Bam is still about like 24 years old. He's still, they like to say in psychology, your brain is still developing until you're 25. We gotta give him some slack. He's still a pretty young guy, you know. So I love it though. Those last 5 games, like I watched all of those games. I watched the numbers. It's like, wait, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm in with that as well, and I am interested to see the next stretch of games for Duncan Robinson. We always joke that like after the trade deadline, he all of a sudden starts shooting so much better. Jonathan, do you think that it's going to be a similar circumstance where he takes off now, or do you think that there wasn't enough noise where it really makes much of a difference as we head into this, final stretch of games where you've got, a lot of home games, which he hasn't shot well at home. So I think that that's an interesting thing to watch as it started to turn around. I mean, obviously that was early in the season, but do you think that we're about to see Duncan go on an incline?
Honestly, you asked this the last game, and I was thinking of it. When it comes to a shooter like Duncan Robinson, it's nothing physical. It's all mental. But based on what we've seen this season, it's tough for me to believe that he's just going to go on a 20-game tear. I think what we'll see him have a good games. He'll have a game where he regresses back. I think we'll just see more good games than bad games, right? There was a lot of games where he was missing wide open shots, right? And he had a second to think about it, and he was probably overthinking. I think now he's going to have his time just to settle in a little bit better. Now with the offense being fully complete, right? Most of the year, you got to think about Duncan didn't have Kyle to play with sometimes. He didn't have Bam to play with sometimes. He didn't have Jimmy to play with sometimes. He didn't know who he was going to be next to. And when you don't have a good defender next, so let's say it's him and Tyler Hero together on the floor, he has to work a little bit harder on that end as well. And you know how hard he has to work on offense to get his shots open. So I think with now having the full crew, it's going to be a lot easier for him. We'll see some bad games still, but I think we see a lot more good games as well.
I have some good news, Greg, and I'm usually not a positive person when it comes to Duncan Robinson, but let me use this analogy for Duncan Robinson in terms of what his trajectory towards competent, consistent, he's earning the money type of play. I would liken it to weight loss. And I experienced this myself because I guess this is like a personal story. From 2016 to about 2018, or 2016 to 2017, I lost about 70 pounds. I went to France, changed my diet. My life changed forever. I've been a sexy beast ever since, even though I was sexy before. But that's besides the point. What I realized about weight loss and just general progress in life is that it's never this or this. It's always this or this. So with Duncan, like Ramlakan just said, it's never like you suck one night and all of a sudden you're 14 for 17. It's going to be like this. But if you take a step back and look at the big picture, if you notice an upward trend, you feel good. If not, maybe he's still treading water or maybe he hasn't really overcome that just yet. But I think it's very possible that given that you have this full squad back, that you could see Duncan Robinson start to trend higher. And I imagine Sean Rochester will be very happy that I said that.
Right. That'll get clipped for sure because Sean will love to retweet it. He's the Duncan, the leader of the Duncan universe at this network. So Timmy, you alluded to that they didn't have many players and that this could be a game Bam could feast. And maybe we even see some of the 2 big lineups. State a case for Brooklyn winning this game, staying in this game. What is the worst case scenario from that perspective? What does Miami need to watch out for most against this team?
So people like Kyrie and Mills, they do not stop moving and they're not afraid to shoot. I could see a game where Thomas, Kyrie, and Mills are all on fire. Like you know those games when it feels like the player would not miss, and you have Duncan with the bad fouls. We don't have Caleb Martin to harass any of these guys. So it's basically Jimmy and Gabe. But that I could see sadly a situation where Kyrie just does what he wants. And and like John said, you're gonna trap Kyrie, but then he gets to Mills. Mills are turned to the Australian bronze medal Mills. And you brought up Thomas has been really good, really good over his last 5 games. So I could see that trio just like shooting unconsciously tonight.
Let's hope not, because something that, well, just since I asked you that question, they added another point. So the Heat's now minus 11.5, not 10.5, like we started the show. So I don't know what they know there. I saw a crazy stat that the Heat are absolutely killing teams in the third quarters, and that recently the opposing teams are shooting, and you guys jump in if you know the stat more accurately than I. I thought it was 1 for 16.
I
thought it was 1 for 30 something. Yeah, it was 1 for 30 something from deep in the last like 3 or 4 games. Something nuts.
36. That's insane.
Okay, so I'm going completely off the script here. Can one of you guys tell me how the hell that is possible? Can you explain it to me?
I watched the game with my own 2 eyes, and I can't tell you.
Here's what. Go ahead. I'm not going to cut you off. But
no, I don't know.
My theory is that Coach Spoelstra is the best adjustment coach in the league. So when he sees something in the first half and it makes him a little bit upset, all right, third quarter we sharpen up and we turn the third quarter into the opposing team third quarter. So I think it's really Coach Spoelstra.
That's the Spoelstra growth, I guess. We're all looking for guys to get better in different ways. The third quarter has become, I don't know what we got to get. Did you just give a nickname to it?
Nope,
there?
It's just the other team's third quarter.
You define one, yeah.
Got it. The reverse turd or something like that. All right. I want to get final picks, but I do want to mention one more sponsor because they're super fun for this particular weekend. That's Prize Picks. My favorite daily fantasy app. I literally play all the time. Like, I am not just spouting this out, just to shout out a sponsor. Like, this is my app. Right now you can play NBA, you can play Super Bowl props. They have Super Bowl props for like everything, like longest punt in the second quarter. No, not like that, but a lot of crazy props. So it's a lot of fun, stuff that you wouldn't normally get to place over-unders on. So Prize Picks is really easy. You pick your favorite players, go over and under other stats. You can stack different players from different sports, and you can win up to 10 times, even more, depending on you're playing the flex play, the power play. So definitely check Prize Picks out. Use promo code 5. And I want to give you my prize pick of the night, which most people hate these because they always say that I'm wrong. But Bam is at 19.5 points. Food. He's going over. The only way he doesn't go over is if he gets to sit out the fourth quarter because it's a blowout. So that's my prize pick of the night. All right, gentlemen, let's go around. Ricky, I'll start with you. Pick and final thoughts just on this Brooklyn Heat matchup as we head into Super Bowl Sunday. And your Super Bowl pick, too. I want your Super Bowl picks. Thank you.
I got you. Look, first of all, it's Rams all day. Never mind what you heard. Argue with your dog. That's one. We'll get that out of the way. Second, I think the Heat should run away with this one and do so with extreme prejudice. Bam needs to eat tonight. I expect him to eat. If he doesn't, even in 3 quarters, I expect him to eat. He doesn't need 4 to get above 19 or even above 23. He needs to shut this thing down early. And just generally speaking, we know what Bam does against this old, slow, ironically enough, old and slow Nets roster and what's left of that team. We know what Kyrie can do, but Kyrie can, as he showed in Cleveland, he can't beat a team by himself. Okay, so Miami needs to go in there, handle their business. And lastly, I need to say this, and I'm probably going to start saying this to close my remarks at the end of every pregame and postgame. Tim Hardaway and Eric Reed deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, point blank, period.
And Zach Thomas. I'll throw that out there since we're on.
Yeah, but I don't know enough about him.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Jonathan, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm going to take Miami. I think this is a good 3-point shooting. I think this is one of those games where Duncan does have a good game, right? You're playing against a bunch of slow-footed centers, guys who can't really pick up. I mean, even in the backcourt, they're just not good defensively. I think Bam can have 4 assists alone, and Duncan Robinson, I think he goes off for about 6 threes tonight. And as Royal said, Heat are going to blow this shit out.
And your Super Bowl pick?
And I want to take the Rams, but I saw something about the Simpsons and the Bengals winning.
Oh, that's fake. I already
It
went
was?
looked it
Okay.
up. Yeah, that's
I'm taking the
completely
Rams.
fake.
They got better defense, and I got to let my boy Odell Beckham Jr. get a ring.
The strength of the Simpsons was about to make Jonathan take the Bengals. Nah, that's Photoshop stuff. Timmy, who you got in the Super Bowl? Who you got tonight?
Odell. Shout out to Odell. He worked out here in this offseason. He was here for his offseason. So my cameraman
Drake got a lot of money on ODB.
Hey, that's why I'm scared because Drake has been kind of off lately with his sports picks. But my cameraman shot some stuff with Odell during this offseason, and he's a cool dude, man. And I hate all the noise around him, so I want to see him just shit on everybody and win it for them. So Hero was back tonight. I said with Bomb, so yeah, I don't see us losing. The Heat winning the blow for sure.
All right, so I'm with all you guys. I think the Rams win. I will tell you though that I'm a little afraid of and I don't do much NFL talk on this show, but I think Joe Mixon's going to be unbelievable tomorrow. Like he's one of those dudes that in one game, I feel like he can go crazy. But I'm taking the Rams to win. The Heat to win. Like I picked the Heat to win every single night that we do this show, so it's a little ridiculous.
It doesn't make sense.
But I just right, because do I expect them to go 82-0? That's why that like you can't even take my pick seriously at this point. I just got a notification from the Miami Heat, baby goat back, and
that's why I brought it up. Like he's
on the
back.
court.
He's
so
back.
I'm going with the player of the game being baby goat being back. And I'm excited now that we not only get to see the starting five, but we get to see the best six man in basketball all on the court at the same time. So I'm actually pretty excited for this game. No 5 on the floor tonight. We will be back after Super Bowl Sunday. So as you get revved up for Monday morning, sleepy eyed because we're all up late watching the Super Bowl, you will have a 5 on the floor on deck wherever you listen to podcasts. Also think that our post-game show likely won't take place tonight. Just a lot of availability issues. It's a crazy weekend, but we'll be back with you soon. Find us all on Twitter. Timmy Bain, Jonathan Ramlakan, Ricky J. Mark. Thank you all for joining me. Again, I'm Greg Sylvander. Sponsors, Mark Brown, PA, Prize Picks, Biscayne Bay Brewing. And the code on Prize Picks is 5. Make sure you mention 5 reasons when you reach out to Mark Brown, PA. And Biscayne Bay Brewing is everywhere. You don't got to mention us. But here's the last thing, because Ethan won't ever close out these pregame shows this way, and you know how I do it. Let's go Heat.
Dun, 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 dun.
And also check out the 3-piece combo MMA show after the UFC tonight as well.
And Bahama Rican Boys every Monday at 9 a.m.
I don't.
Ricky, you got something to plug? You got to have something, dog.
You know what? Fine. RJM Radio did a wonderful interview with Alana Tahauer, the First Lady of 5 Reasons Sports. RJM Radio streams everywhere podcasts exist. We don't do too many episodes because there's a lot going on in the world. But if you want to learn something new about the First Lady, go check that out. It's available on Spotify, Pocket Casts, Google Podcasts, Deezer in France.
You sound like Ethan naming off all of this. We're on Podbean, Spotify. No. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Let's go Heat. Be out.
Quick. Wow.
Because his Pat Stadden finally paid off. So anytime my guy gets a triple-double, I'm happy for him because he plays basketball the right way. And he's always looking to kick the ball ahead, and then he's always down there stealing the bigs rebounds. Very, very comfortable I am when I'm out there with Kyle. Everybody is, though, because he's always going to make the right play. And even if it's to me or skipping it across the court, you can bank on Kyle doing that. And I just think everybody's comfortable late whenever I have the ball, Kyle has the ball, Bam or PJ. So, it's a 2-man game between me and him tonight. Next game, it could be him and Bam, him and Tuck, him and Dunk. Who knows?
Obviously, you caught the Pelicans when they were playing well. You had CJ coming in. Kind of satisfaction is you guys to be able to come in here knock them off during an upswing for them. And I know it seems like you guys are really swarming CJ when you get the ball. Any particular plan there?
I think that's how we play defense as a whole, not just whenever he has the ball. But he's a tough cover one-on-one along with BI. I think you just got to show bodies. You got to contest every shot. I think we did that. But we've been playing some great basketball as of late, and we just need to continue to do that.
Alex?
All right, we'll take one from Zoom. Go ahead, Ira.
Jimmy, I'll cut to the chase. LeBron drafted you off the Spo's roster for the All-Star game. Just wanted to get your thoughts about going against Spo with the All-Star now and what you have planned for him and what you think he might have planned for you.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Somebody's be glad to.
Childish typing stuff.
That damn guy. Yeah, we all saw that. LeBron drafted you off of Spo's roster for the All-Star game, so you'll be going against Spo. What do you have planned for him, and how much do you think he's going to get together with his coaches to shut you down?
Anybody worry about Spo? He better let me score every possession I get. Otherwise, I'm coming back and we're going to have a talk.
All right, Jimmy, we're good here.
That's okay.
Now it's my turn. Now it's my turn.